you got to put everything together. You got to use your imagination. You got to get off your ass. You got to do some actions. You got to fall on your ass a few more times. You got to make some mistakes. It's not a mistake. It's a mistake.
These challenges, these mistakes, these things that we don't really want to go into, but they just sort of plop into our lives, they're there to help us. That's the other thing. Like, look at it as they're there as a benefit. They're there to help you grow.
Freedom, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom is calling us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Practical Evolution for Life. AutoDidactic, Lorenzo from the New Now. Our event is coming up October 6th, 7th, and 8th. Today, we're going to discuss practical manifestation. Everyone's interested in how to bring the best of their life to their life. And we're going to work on it together. Hey, Cambell.
Hey, Lorenzo. How you going? Yes, so as you just mentioned, we're going to be in Florida in a couple of months doing a live event over the weekend. So you'll find details below. Click the link and check it out if you want more info, and come and join us for a discussion, information about the practical evolution of your life and how we can all work towards building a better experience while we're down here, right? Experiencing this thing they call life.
We're going to share basically early bird pricing, by the way, until August 12th. But we're going to look at the positive aspects of being selfish, right? Everyone thinks it's a bad idea, but it really isn't. Selfish just means to be looking after yourself. To be selfless and selfish at the same time is an interesting concept, and that only you can really figure out what's best for you. Only your heart knows where you should go, why you're here, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, all of those things. The rest, I feel, is a big distraction. So as much as Cambell and I dislike anybody telling anybody what to do, our event will be the antithesis and opposite of that. We're going to share our path to help you with your path to figure out what you need to see about yourself for yourself so you can practically evolve yourself as you would like to do it.
Indeed. We all want more from this life. We all want to change certain things, maybe change the world, maybe even try and change other people, or at least influence them. Don't try and change them. But the truth is, unless you are a bit selfish and you get yourself right, you can't have an impact on anything outside of you. So if there are big things that you want to achieve, or even, not quite so big things, it all starts with you. So being selfish isn't taking, a lot of people think that means taking from others, but it just means focusing on you, getting yourself right. And once you're right, then you can live the life that will affect others, because they'll see the changes that you've caused.
Everyone likes the idea of working with people or living with people or being in relationships with people that are honest. You ask anybody, would you like honest people in your life? No one's going to say, no, I'd like dishonest people. I like people that lie to me. I like people that are being tricky with me in my life, whether it's your relationships or your children or your boss. But how many people consider the most important relationship is that with themselves, being honest with yourself? How many of us have seen, even till, recently, again, being tricky with yourself, being duplicitous with yourself, being set up by rote, by examination, by on purpose, if you like, if you look back to your schooling, being tricked into learning how to be tricky with yourself, basically not understanding even what it is you would like to do and how you would like to do things. So honesty begins at home. The same as they said with charity begins at home. I guess that was one of the old things in the Bible, wasn't it? I'm not sure. But, if you be charity means be charitous with yourself, which means give to yourself as much as you possibly can. Comes back to being selfish, and that if you haven't figured it out for yourself, you can't possibly figure out where you need to go, because you need your honest direction to figure out your honest purpose, to figure out what you would like to create, to figure out your practical evolution.
Yes. And the mind is the great trickster, which I think we forget, quite a bit, is we believe that all the thoughts in our minds are ours and they've originated from us, when they don't. They 99% of them are coming from the outside, and they're based on other people's opinion. It's not even based on fact, or it's just random opinion. And we tend to take these thoughts on and think they're ours, and then live our life based on them. And so be very careful of yourself, of your mind, of the great trickster, because its job is to keep you comfortable, right? It's not to keep you going and achieving, and changing your life and having this amazing, wonderful experience. It's to keep you comfortable. So at every point, it's going to give you all of the, the hints and all of the information you need to sit on your ass and do nothing. So
Yeah.
we need to understand that and not be tricked, right, by the great trickster.
So I think there's two kinds of discomfort that Campbell brought up. It's an interesting point here. The discomfort of the trickster that tells you don't do something, like you don't want to do something new, it's dangerous. You don't want to give up an old pattern, it's dangerous. You don't want to move from an old habit. And so you feel you want to stay in your comfort zone and stay away from the pain. But then you have the existential pain, the deep pain, the pain that never goes away, like why you need another drink, why you need another hamburger, why you need to chase another relationship or stay in a job to feel comfortable, even though you hate it, why you need to stay, whatever circumstance you're in, because you feel you'll lose something. But if you face that pain, I think there's the small discomfort and the big discomfort. And as Campbell said, the mind tricks you into not wanting to face that small discomfort so that you stay in your existential discomfort for the rest of your days. And that's the cage and the mind trick that keeps you away from your soul purpose, the one purpose, why you're here, what you want to do, and where you want to go. Keep in mind, all these gurus, all the TV shows, all the religions, all the news, it's all sharing outside stuff that they say can change. But really, change begins inside. And then outside will automatically by itself. It's hard to put into words. You sound like a bit of a fool when you try and describe it, because a lot of this is beyond language, right? And, it's something Campbell and I have wrestled with in the maybe 100 videos we've done together on this, is, trying to get around the fact that we're talking and sharing with you in words, but, pointing towards your feelings or your guts or your intuition and your imagination to get beyond that. And that's what our course is about. Right. I'll plug it there. We want to share with you face to face how you can get beyond and grow into the magnificent being you always knew you could be.
Big decisions, easy life, small decisions, hard life. So basically, if you're only making, only focusing and making the small decisions, nothing's going to change in your life. But if you step out and make the big decisions, you'll find that your general life will become easier. But when you focus on the small decisions, nothing changes. So it actually does change. It gets worse because that's what you're focusing on, just, the small little things that don't have any effect on your life. And so you're going to go down that tunnel because, nothing stays the same, right? The only constant is change. So keep that in mind as well. You can't, there's no, I'm just sitting here not getting better or worse. You're always getting better or worse. So, everything we do takes us up or down. This is a spiral up and the spiral down. So, have the courage to make the big decisions and understand that means your life going forward will get easier, and avoiding those will just make it get harder.
And you never know where you're going to be, why you're going to be, or how you're going to be to find your way forward. Campbell and I are chatting right now in the midst of a different situation that we were waiting for to record with a guest who may or may not show up or may or may not come on, but it doesn't matter, right? Campbell and I could be sitting here going, oh my goodness, this is horrible. Oh my goodness, someone's late. Oh my goodness, we're wasting our time. Instead, we've decided to sit and practically share with you our practical evolution course to see and show how you can move beyond anything you may understand as blocking your next step in your next evolution in how you would like to live your life. In other words, if you want to change, if you want to go beyond, if you want to notice the great trickster, Campbell put it very well, and I can't stress that enough. Perhaps that's the thing that keeps most of us blocked, is the echo, the ego, the mirror in your mind that keeps you going good, bad, up, down, yes, no, more or less. But you got to go beyond that. Not just sit there and go bing, 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 the new age, and that's enough, believe it's different. You got to put everything together. You got to use your imagination. You got to get off your ass. You got to do some actions. You got to fall on your ass a few more times. You got to make some mistakes. Campbell's said it with this saying 1,000 times, and I find myself using it all the time. And it's one of the best things that ever. It's not a mistake. It's Campbell's. I don't want to steal that. It's a mistake. And then you realize from that, though, you get enhanced from your mistakes, which is the best thing. So you make a mistake, but it's not a mistake. It's just a stepping stone towards where you would like to go. What is the old that saying? The wisest man on the planet. It wasn't my quote. Is the man who made the most mistakes.
Yeah.
Because basically it brings you somewhere else.
Yeah. They're just mistakes, and as long as you take 2 or 3 or 500, you're going to learn. Even if that's learning what not to do, then you're going forward. So these challenges, these mistakes, these things that we don't really want to go into, but they just sort of plop into our lives, they're there to help us. That's the other thing. Like, look at it as they're there as a benefit. They're there to help you grow, to help you get on your path so you can get to where you want to be. Because, you know, I've said it before, this whole changing your life, it's about becoming the person that you need to be to live that life. And the reason that you're not living that life now is because you're not already that person that you need to be. So that's what all these challenges and mistakes are. They're to help you grow so that you get to the level that you can then step into the life that you want.
Yeah. And maybe a practical way of looking at this is when you go into something new, or you try something new, or you're doing something new, have no expectations or regrets. Right? Just do it and see what you get. If it works or it doesn't work, don't have any regrets, because you've tried it. You've tried something new, tried a new job, you tried a new relationship, you've tried a new location to live in. And you go, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have done that. You know, there's no such thing as having a regret, in my opinion. The only regret you should have is maybe never trying, because if you try and it doesn't work, it gives you more information on how it can work. If you have expectations, it's kind of like you won't get something new, because all you can expect is something that's already happened. Because an expectation is basically just you're now projected into the future.
Yeah.
And if you're projecting your known into the unknown, you're going to just get more of your known.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't want that because you don't like your life, have to, and there's no haves, but if you don't have any expectations, you can sit back. It's more peaceful too. There's no stress, no regrets, no expectations. Stress goes away. You go, well, that was bad. Don't do it again. You know, that was good. Do some more of it.
Exactly.
You know,
It doesn't have to be that hard. We could actually simplify this. You know, I think this is, you know, all the stuff we went through in the 90s and 80s and 2000s of self-help, and it just made things more complicated because everyone needed their own take on it to publish their book or their course. It couldn't be the same as the person before them. So they had to keep adding stuff. And then we just ended up with this goop where you've just, you know, people are running around, you know, doing 1,000 things a day and achieving nothing, which is another big thing is, you know, results. We have to look at our results. Don't just keep running around in circles. Do something, and then what are the results? Is it working? Is it not? And of course, these are all topics that are going to be talked about over the weekend in Florida. Links below. And we also have an online course that you can do as well if you can't get to Florida. So check out those links. But what we will be talking about is, as Lorenzo mentioned, you know, we tend to project the future from our past. Right? We have all these memories and things that we, you know, think we know are true. And we kind of project that forward, and that becomes the future we walk into. So, you know, we need to change that, right? We need to start projecting something different forward, not just something that's already happened, right?
And one thing I want to, a quick plug here. We just started working with a company called Flora Live. And the reason I'm mentioning that is a lot of times we get to where we want to move forward, we get to where we want to do something new, and we're blocked, right? We don't have any new ideas. We don't have any new intuition. We don't have any new imagination. And I tried these. They're just flower essences, full flower essences. And interestingly enough, I'm a bit of a skeptic for any supplement, but I took them. The fellow that made them told me they're going to allow, if you have a blockage, new information to come, you know, whether it's an emotional blockage or a healing blockage or an anger blockage. And of course, I didn't believe him, but I started taking these, and it was crazy. The dreams I got and the intuition that came. And watch your dreams. I would say, you know, see what they say to you, because maybe you'll get some information while you're sleeping because you're more relaxed than when you're awake. And, you know, I don't mean dream interpretations. I mean, simply as you have a dream, maybe you'll get a new idea. Maybe you'll get a new way to see. You know, I never realized how angry I was with my parents growing up, you know, but then I had some dreams and I figured out, wow, I thought I healed it, but I still got some deep-seated angers that I had to figure out. So, you know, I had with my father a few days ago, you know, he's an older man now in his 80s, but it worked out. All of the bad things I had, or all of the bad weirdness I had, just kind of went away because I took the time to be the man in this relationship and go, you know, I love you. Thanks for your hard work. You know, even though you've done X, Y, and Z, filling your own challenges everyone's had with their parents, you know, if you can look on the loving side and you forgive them, you forgive yourself. And really what I want to say, there'll be links below for this Flora Live, but healing support for your emotional and physical challenges. So there's 3 ways you can start with us, right? You know, if you want to take the course, it's work. No doubt about it. You got to face yourself. You got to do a lot. If you want to come to us and see us live in Florida, it's even more work. You got to get there. You got to move there. You got to fly there. You got to walk there. You got to drive there. But if you just want to sit back in the comfort of your own home, you know, maybe pick up some Flora Live essences, and perhaps, you know, that those blockages will start to move, and then you can do a course, and then you can do something live. Doesn't have to be with us, of course, you know, but this way you get the opportunity through what we're sharing and through what you need to do to grow up into a beautiful life and to live how you may like the practical evolution. Freedom's calling you, your own freedom. What have you got to lose? Death's coming for us all. See our live stream on Friday, Dependable Death, story with an end. Everyone's story has an end. So why not make yours a beautiful, glorious, wonderful story as you would like to see it?
Yep, your life has to be your life. For things to change, things have to change. Freedom is calling you. Can you hear it? Are you going to do anything about it? Because we all want change, we all talk about it, but who's really willing to get out there and do the stuff? And as Lorenzo said, he made the hard decision. He said, well, I'm going to talk to Dad, I'm going to get this sorted out. I've held all this stuff in. It would have been much easier for him to just, say, hey, how are you going, Dad, and not hit any of the hard stuff, and he would still be holding all this. His life would be harder because he'd be holding this big backpack on his back. But he made the hard decision, and then the interesting thing about it, when you do this, like he said, it just disappears. All that 30 years of stuff, it's gone. It's not like you need to do anything else. It just goes. And that's literally because he took the harder road. So now his life is easier. So these are the sort of topics that we're going to be discussing is practical evolution. How do we practically go forward, asking better questions, making better decisions, and ultimately taking better actions that will lead us down the path to where we want to end up.
Yeah, there's an old Japanese saying, and I live in Japan. They always said, the harder road is the easier road, and the easier road is the harder road when you're younger. And I've seen in my wisdom as I'm getting older, that's definitely true. You take the easy path, boy, does it get hard later. You take the hard path and you learn things. Boy, when you get a little older, does it seem a lot easier now. So, what else are you going to do, except learn for yourself and be the most wonderful being you can be for yourself, for your children, for your relationship, for your neighbors, for the next person. Doesn't matter. When you're feeling good and you're feeling groovy, the rest of the world is going to change for you, not with you trying to change them. That's the thing. If you change yourself, the world around you will naturally evolve. If you're happy, people will be happier around you. If you're feeling confident, people will trust in your confidence more, right? If you're feeling loving, people will be more loving to you, right? If you feel independent and strong, people will get that and treat you that way and maybe want to spend more time with you learning how they can be independent and strong. Once again, change yourself first. The rest will follow on its own. Don't worry about the outside world. There is only one person, as Cambell said before too, 6 billion people, try changing them all. But yourself, everyone can do that because, well, lives with themselves, whether they like it or not, for the rest of their days, you can change.
Indeed. So all the links below, guys. Check them out. Online course, live event in Florida, and flower essences.
Yeah, Flora Live. I'll send the link. We'll put it up below, and they work. I've tried them. Healing support, blue-eyed grass. There's about 80 of them. I'm looking forward to trying some more. We'll have Brent on. He's the creator of this at some point to chat with you as well. So there you go. Thanks you all. I love you all very much. Nice to see you here.
Have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you on Friday live. Make sure you come and check us out.
Stepping it up, taking a chance.